back. Welcome back to the Road Trip Kingdom Builders, Road Trippers, Akim and Akatim. That's right, brothers and sisters, mothers, fathers, aunties and uncles, grandmas and grandpas, man. Everybody in the house, man. Shalom, shalom. Peace and blessings to each and every single one of you, your homes, your dwelling places where you live, right? Your children, right? Your loved ones, your friends, and your pets, man. Those little fur nuggets. The little fur nagas. Oh, I love them. Little fur babies. That's right, All right. So check this out, man. All praises to the Most High. I need some more water. Gosh, man. I gotta tighten up. All praises to the Most High. Abana Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, man. That's right. Right? All praises to the overseer, man. Glory to Yahweh Shai, man, the king and the high priest, man. Honors to the Ruach HaKodesh, wisdom, and my love and my respect goes out to each and every single one of y'all, man. Road Trippers, Kingdom Builders, Kingdom Builders. Yeah. Yeah, man. All right. So, guess what, man? Guess what? I'm asking you a question. I'm just playing out. I'm acting foolish, man. No, we're back here in the book. We're back here in the book, in the scrolls, man. First Maccabees chapter 6. Okay, this one's kind of long. So we're gonna make this a standalone. All right, you ready to get this? All right, I hope so. Because I'm gonna read it anyway. You got a few moments, get your scrolls out. If you want to read along with me, that would be kind of cool. But if not, then don't worry about it. It's not really a big deal. I ain't tripping. I'm just road tripping. All right. So, hey, all right. First Maccabees, chapter 6, man. Let's begin. All right. I love you. Hey. Gentlemen in the back, sit down. Ladies and gentlemen, please have a seat, man. Stop it. Let's go. Let's begin.
All right. Take them back.
Chapter 6, and it reads, And King Antiochus was journeying through the upper countries, and he heard say that in Elimias in Persia there was a city renowned for riches, for silver and gold, and that the temple which was rich exceedingly, and that therein were golden shields and breastplates and arms, which Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian king, who reigned first among the Greeks, left behind there. And he came and sought to take the city and to pillage it, and he was not able, because the thing was known to them of the city, and they rose up against them in battle. And they fled. He fled. He was a coward, right? And left from there with great heaviness to return to Babylon. And there came one bringing him tidings into Persia, and the armies which went against him in the land of Yahudah had been put to flight. And the Lysias went first with a strong army and was put to shame before them, and they had and that they had waxed strong by reasoning of arms and power, and with store of spoils, which they took from the armies that they had cut off, and that they had pulled down the abomination which had built upon the altar that was in Jerusalem, and that they had compassed about the sanctuary with high walls as before. And Bethsura, the city. And it came to pass, when the king heard these words, he was astonished and moved exceedingly, and he laid him down upon his bed and fell sick for grief, because it had been befallen him as he looked for. So, Salake. I'm sorry. I stutter, guys. Salake. Verse 9, and it reads, And he was there many days, because great grief was renewed upon him, and he made account that he should die. And he called for all his friends and said to them, Sleep departs from my eyes, and my heart fails for care. And I said to my heart, To what suffering am I come? What suffering am I come? And how great a flood is it, wherein I now am? For I was gracious and beloved in my power. But now I remember the evils which I did at Jerusalem, and that I took all the vessels of silver and gold that were therein, and sent out to destroy the inhabitants of Yehuda, without a cause. I perceived that on this account these evils are come upon me, and behold, I perish through this great grief, in a strange land. And he called for Philip, one of his friends, and set him over all his kingdom, and gave him his diadem and his robe and his signet ring, to the end he should bring Antiochus his son, and nourish him up, that he might be king. And King Antiochus died there in the 149th year. And Lysias knew that the king was dead, and he set up Antiochus his son to reign. His son to reign, whom he had nourished up, being young. And he called his name Eupator. Okay, all right. Well, yeah. Hallelujah. Let's continue. Verse 18, and it reads, And those who were in the citadel shut up at Yasharel around the sanctuary, and sought always their hurt, and the strengthening of the Gentiles. And Judas thought to destroy them, and called all the people together, to besiege them, right? And they were gathered together and besieged them in the 150th year. And he made mounds to shoot from, and engines of war. And there came out some of those who were shut up, and there were joined to them certain ungodly men of Yasharel. And they went to the king and said, How long will you not execute judgment and avenge our kindred? We were willing to serve your father, and to walk after his words, and to follow his commandments. And for this cause the children of our people besieged the citadel, and were alienated from us. But as many of us as they could lie on, they killed and plundered our inheritances. And not against us only did they stretch out their hand, but also against all our borders. And behold, they are encamped this day against the citadel at Jerusalem to take it, and the sanctuary at Bethsura have they fortified. And if you are not beforehand with them, quickly they will do greater things than these, and you will not be able to control them. And when the king heard this, he was angry, and gathered together all his friends, even the rulers of the army, and those who were over his horse. And there came to him from the kingdoms, and from isles of the sea, bands of hired soldiers. And the number of the forces was 100,000 footmen, and 20,000 horsemen, and 32 elephants. 32 elephants trained for war. And they went through Idumea, and encamped against Bethsura, and fought against it many days, and made engines of war. And they of Bethsura came out, and burned them with fire, and fought valiantly. And Judas left from the citadel, and encamped at Beth-Zaccarais, near the king's camp. And the king rose early in the morning, and sent his army at full speed along the road to Beth-Zaccarais, and his forces made them ready to battle, and sounded with a trumpet. And they showed the elephants the blood of grapes and mulberries, that they might prepare them for the battle. And they divided the beast among the phalanxes. And they set by each elephant 1,000 men armed with coats of mail, and helmets and brass, and on their heads. And for each beast were appointed 500 chosen horsemen. Oh my goodness. These were ready beforehand. Wherever the beast was, and wherever the beast went, they went with him. They departed not from him. Wow. That's war, man. Can you imagine how war was back then? It was brutal, man. Verse 37. Let's continue, family. Let's go. Verse 37, and it reads, And towers of wood were upon them, strong and covered, one upon each beast, girded fast upon him with cunning contrivances. And upon each beast were 32 valiant men. Wow! And fought upon them beside his Indian. And the residue of the horsemen he set on the side, and that side, and two parts of an army, striking terror into the enemy, and protected by the phalanxes. Now, when the sun shone upon shields of gold and brass, and the mountains shone therewith, and blazed like torches of fire, and a part of the king's army was spread upon the high mountains, and some on the low ground. And they went on firmly and in order, and all that heard the noise of their multitude, and the marching of the multitude, and the rattling of their arms, did quake, for the army was exceedingly great and strong. And Judas and his army drew near for battle, and there fell of the king's army 600 men. And Eleazar, who was called Avaran, saw one of the beasts armed with royal breastplates, and he was higher than all the beasts, and the king seemed to be upon him, and he gave himself to deliver his people, and to get him an everlasting name. And he ran upon him courageously into the midst of the phalanx, and killed on the right hand and on the left, and he parted asunder from him on this side and on that. And he crept under the elephant and thrust him from beneath and killed him. And the elephant fell to the earth upon him, and he died there. Oh my goodness. I'm going to interject. So this man, he wanted to get a name for himself, so he started slaying everybody on the battlefield. And he ran up under an elephant, and he stabbed the elephant. The elephant fell on top of him and killed him. Oh my goodness. Wow. All right. 47, and it reads, and they saw the strength of the kingdom and the fierce onset of the army, and turned away from them. But they of the king's army went up to Jerusalem to meet them. And the king encamped toward Judea and toward Mount Zion. And he made peace with them at Bethsura. And he came out of the city, because they had no food there to endure the siege, because it was a Shabbat to the land. It was a Shabbat. All right. It was a Shabbat. It was a Shabbat to the land. All right, so let's continue reading. All right, 50, and it says, and the king took Bethsura and appointed a garrison there to keep it. And he encamped against the sanctuary many days, and set there mounds to shoot from, and engines of war, and instruments for casting fire and stones, and pieces to cast darts and slings. And they also made engines against their engines, and fought for many days. But there were no food in the sanctuary, because it was the 7th year. And those who fled for safety into Judea from among the Gentiles had eaten up the residue of the store. And there were but a few left in the sanctuary, because of the famine prevailed against them. And they were scattered, each man to his own place. And Lysias heard say that Philip, whom Antiochus the king, while he was yet still alive, appointed to nourish up his son Antiochus, that he might be king, was returned from Persia and Media, and with him the forces that went with the king, and that he was seeking to take him to him the government. Salake. 57. And he made haste and gave consent to depart. And he said to the king and the leaders of the army and to the men, we decay daily, and our food is scant, and the place where we encamp is strong, and the affairs of the kingdom lie upon us. Now, therefore, let's give the right hand to these men, and make peace with them. Make peace with them, and with all their nation, and covenant with them, and they will walk after their own laws. And previously, for because of their laws which we abolished, they were angered and did all these things. Let's leave them alone. See what I'm saying? Let's leave them alone. Pay attention. 16, it says, and the saying pleased the king and the princes, and he sent to them to make peace, and they accepted thereof. And the king and the princes swore to them. Immediately they came out from the stronghold, and the king entered into Mount Zion, and he saw the strength of the place, and set at nothing the oath which he had sworn, and gave commandment to pull down the wall round about. And he left in haste and returned to Antioch, and found Philip master of the city, and he fought against him and took the city by force. And that's the end of chapter 6. That's it, man. We're not doubling this one up, man. These are starting to stretch out. All right, hallelujah. I love each and every single one of you. You know that, right? Yasharel, family, King the Builder, Road Tripper, Akeem Akatim. That's right, man. Brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, aunties, and uncles, grandmas, and grandpas. I love every one of y'all, man. Can't stop, won't stop. No, won't. Love you, man. All praises to the Most High. In the meantime, I'll see you back on chapter 7. Yeah. Yes, I will. You better believe it. Get your scrolls ready. I'll see you soon. I love you, man. All praises to the Most High. Yeah.